I am Deepali. Welcome to the Deecee show. Today we have with us is a wonderful wedding planner and fantastic fashion conscious entrepreneur Purva Patel.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing, Purva?
Good, a little nervous because I have never been on a talk show kind. Yeah, so a bit nervous. But
Alright, I think it's going to be completely fine with the way we are going this ahead because it's all about
looking forward.
It's all about you and your industry. So tell me, how is the industry doing as of now?
As of now, in this situation, it's a tough time for our industry because since there are no permissions for holding a gathering, it is a little bit difficult. But yeah, small events are happening, cozy events, home events are happening. So there is a little buzz around after the lockdown has opened. But obviously there are no big talks around the big weddings or the big wedding scene which used to be. So that is going to take time, but I'm sure eventually we will come around because celebrations don't go anywhere and people need reasons to celebrate.
Correct.
So,
also, I wanted to know, there's this whole new term called intimate affairs and intimate weddings and intimate events. So I want to know, why can't the whole industry can encash that thing and come up with something on those lines?
so there are a lot of Zoom events also happening, plus there are intimate affairs which are going around, but then you don't get the scope of having that lavish decor or creating those kind of installations or anything for an intimate affair. But obviously right now in the kind of scenario we are in, these kind of things are going on and people are opening up to holding intimate affairs and having 100 people weddings. So I think eventually it will come around and it will be like there will be a lot of destination weddings at approachable destinations, like you can drive and go. So for India it's going to be like, because there are a lot of weddings which used to happen abroad, Indian weddings, but because of this scenario, the COVID scenario, I think there will be a lot of boom in the Indian tourism business and there will be weddings happening in and around your city or vicinity, which is a good thing.
Correct. You being a wedding planner, being in this industry since a very long time, you would have seen a lot of weddings, would have seen a lot of expressions of a bride or a groom. Which is that one expression or a feeling that still excites you about the whole thing called wedding and a marriage?
So I would say the entire planning process is like it's a thrilling experience. So it's something which I feel that each and every moment is special, but there's something called a varmala. When it happens in a wedding I think it's the most magical moment because you're exchanging garlands, you are promising each other to be with each other, and the whole setup that is created for that little ceremony of 2 minutes is something which I really kind of look forward to in a wedding. And I always feel that I plan the Varmala in a special way.
Oh, nice. You as a wedding planner, you're successfully established and right there for the city to experience in terms of your art and installations. But at the same time, if at all you have to choose a plan B for yourself, what would it be?
Plan B is always fashion. So something related to fashion. I'm really passionate about shoes and bags, as you know, so that is something would be like...
I would want people to know more about her bags collection because it's not her craziness, it's her passion to collect bags, and that's something completely new for Gujarat and for Ahmedabad.
So obviously the plan B is going to be something around fashion, but I don't know what it can be, but it has to be around fashion.
Correct. I would want to know more about Bags and Jazz.
So Bags and Jazz is a complete passion project, and I like to collect. I like to collect classics. I like to collect limited edition pieces. So that is something which I have built over the years, and since Ahmedabad, or maybe for that matter Gujarat, has been a little naive market for luxury brands, luxury bags, and since I like to read, I kind of have updations about what is going on in the fashion scene related to luxury bags or shoes. So when friends keep on asking, then I thought might as well try and talk about it on an open platform so people would know, so people would ask you for what a medium to communicate moreover. So that is something Bags and Jazz is about. So that is just completely out of passion. It's nothing, there is right now no business angle to it, but yeah, I love what I do.
That's wonderful. You're basically a go-to person whenever it comes to fashion and stuff like that, and also it's accepted by the society here. But when it comes to you being a wedding planner, does it get difficult with the patriarchal society around? Does it get challenging at times to prove yourself as a women entrepreneur right there?
So you said women, right?
I had
So women is something, I think being a woman, it is always a little difficult to, kind of be accepted as a business person or accepted as a wedding planner also. Because, people think that women are soft, they cannot cope up. But it's not so, obviously, that there is a lot of support from friends and family and all. So you kind of cope up with all of that. But of course, there are difficulties at times. There are advantages also and there are disadvantages also for both the situations. So that is where the hitch comes. But I think that's a challenge which you have to accept.
Correct. But how do you, whenever you face it, there have been a lot of clients who would have said it on the face.
Yes, it has happened that you are a girl, how will you be able to manage?
How do you actually act or react to it? Do you take it easy and convince them, or you just work out?
No, my work speaks, I always say. And that is what it has been, because we generally don't land up advertising and doing things for getting business. So generally when I get a client, they know what work I have done. So if they don't believe in that work, then it's their call. I don't kind of push because I don't feel it is right.
Correct.
That way.
Also, Purva, it is that time when people consider you a fearless person as of now, because you are standing out with your work and as a wedding planner. There are a lot of passionate women who actually want to pursue this as a career, but a lot of, because of the limitations and because of the societal acceptance or not so acceptance, they are taking a step back. What do you think, except running around, what is the scope in wedding planning or the whole event management industry for women to take up and take the career ahead instead of stepping back?
So I just read somewhere, like in our industry, in the wedding planning industry, there is almost 30% which is run by women, and there are so many companies, and women have good aesthetic sense, they have a good sense of taste. So it's not, for new people coming into the field, there's a lot of scope and there's a lot of work out there. So it's not never going to be, people are not going to stop getting married. They are going to get married. Yeah. So, and of course the celebrations also, like now there are a lot of milestones that are celebrated in a big way. So, it's obviously there is work, there are things which are going to be there, and it's never going to go. So whoever wants to do it, they can plunge into it.
Yes. Also, when we speak about new milestones and people celebrating and finding various ways to celebrate, so which are the latest trends of celebration wherein, except weddings and social events, what are these events that, that are catching eye and that are, celebrated quite with fun and frolic?
So we've done a lot of milestones for friends, family, and milestones in the sense it can be a 30th also. It starts with a 30, 40s, 50s, all those things are like big milestones that are celebrated. So all those things, for little occasions like that also, there is now, it's become like a grandeur affair. So, and people find reasons to celebrate, and I think the overall phenomena of socializing has changed overall. So, smaller occasions also, they want to make it special.
Correct. All right. Looks great. Sounds interesting. Okay, talking about your career and the way you take it up. You had a team of maybe 20 people, 25 people. So how does it really help you on daily basis? Like the team is basically the backbone, but what are the challenges on daily basis when you handle a team? What really goes in?
So with my team, I've been like really blessed because I've been in the field since I was 15 years. My team has also been around me for almost that many years. So they now know what Didi wants and how the things are going to be. So when it comes to handling any kind of event, if I am not around, my entire team, they just completely take care of it. So they are like my backbone, and you can completely rely on them for anything. So we have differentiated departments for everything. There's a separate department for hospitality, for execution there is a separate department, designing is separate. So that way there is bifurcation of work with everyone, and that's how they do it. But when they are on site, they do anything and everything.
Correct. Also, because it is getting an interesting conversation now, so I would really want you to tell people about how the whole process works. Like till the time one client comes, confirms a wedding, till the time it gets over, what is the whole process like when we talk about a teamwork, like in terms of planning, strategizing, and executing it. So what?
So the process starts when obviously the guy and the girl gets engaged. So that's when they realize that now they would need a planner in place for planning their engagement or their coming up wedding. So that's when we get involved. So we ideally get involved like 5-6 months before the wedding actually happens, and then we start discussing. Then we try and first understand what the bride and the groom likes. In certain places there are families, but majorly it's bride and groom. So they will give us their likes and dislikes. Then there is a presentation which happens. We show them a couple of options of how we can do the wedding and how the entire schedule of the wedding is. And towards the end of it, the process gets fast, but initially it's just more about talks, idea sharing and everything. And that's how, like, before a month we are done with the list of the guest list. Then we take care of their hospitality, so the car management to designing the invitation to there are so many things which goes into a wedding. We don't realize, because when we walk into a function, it's like a grandeur affair, but there are so many little plannings that we have to go through. In certain cases we've done walkthroughs also, like an architect, when they plan a house, they give you a walkthrough of the house. Similar, we've done it for decor also. We give our clients a walkthrough of the entire space, that how it's going to turn out on that day. And certain things we've actually made mock-ups also.
Very nice. That's quite interesting. I mean, don't you think it's very time consuming? And
It is very time consuming, because everyone who walks in would be having some new ideas, and or they would want us to suggest them with new ideas. No one wants a repeat of anything. So there are like trends which goes on social media that people follow, and then they want to kind of use that kind of trends for their wedding, like hashtags. And then there is something called Phoolon Ki Holi, which got really popular last year.
yes, I mean, I was about to...
Yeah, which was, Haldi was never a popular function. Yes. But since last 2-3 years, it's become very popular with Phoolon Ki Holi being played in it.
So when you talk about social media, Purva, so how difficult or how easy it is, because a lot of people come up with their social media or Pinterest guides that we would want something like this or something like that. So do you give something different, or I mean, first of all, I would want to know if there's any conflict of creativity here, because they come up with something and that might block your creativity or might not block. But there are certain clients who would want something similar, just ditto the same thing, and there are certain people who would welcome the changes and the renewed model of the location. So how do you think it is?
So in terms of, so Pinterest is a competition for creative people, I would say. But it's kind of an help also, because certain references, or obviously we tell our clients we wouldn't execute exactly the same thing, but we would take an idea from it and then we will plan accordingly. So that's how we work with our clients. So generally our clients are pretty comfortable with that, but there are certain people who are like stubborn, we want something very similar like this. Then you don't have a choice, because finally it's the client's word. So we would try and convince them first that we will give you something similar, but then there will be changes in it. And generally, more or less, if they're coming to you, they know you are a creative person. So they come with that open mind. They would only give you an idea or a reference that this is something which I like. Now you can give us an option.
Correct.
Of what can be done. So generally now it's like, we use a lot of photographs also for our designing purpose, because that is easier for the client to understand rather than, showing a 3D.
Correct. Something related to, there are secrets of making a wedding or any event successful. What is that one secret that you would want to reveal out of the whole lot?
So the secret, I would say, is if I get a free hand, it's the best. So, you know, with creative people, if they are given free hand, you can create something, you can, you know, experiment. So that is something which I have, you know, kind of I always tell my clients, just give me a little bit of free hand and let me explore my creativity. And certain people, of course, they give you that free hand. So for me, the secret is a free hand.
Correct. 4 or 5 things that you don't compromise on as soon as you pick up a wedding.
Yeah, something like first I said, the first thing would be give me a little free hand on to work on. Then something in the menus, which I feel that, you know, certain things are required to set a menu or to do something, to create something better. So that is something which we would, you know, kind of tell them that it doesn't have to be same. The caterer doesn't have to be same for all the days. When we are doing a destination wedding, we would want to know the size of the wedding, how it is going to be, because then you can suggest properties and hotels accordingly. So that is something which we would need a clarity on, moreover. Then majorly, I mean, their choices, which is very, very important for me, like the family's choices and the bride and groom's choices. So that is something which we require to, you know, kind of make the wedding successful.
So last question, but I would want to know more about Pristine Page. What exactly, you know, the name says, also something since the time it has established, you know, the kind of events, the kind of weddings, the kind of things that you've done, something on those lines.
So Pristine is just a year-old baby, and earlier, like obviously I had a different company. Now we've just rebranded it with Pristine Page. Pristine, obviously it means pristine, so it kind of, the projects that we've done in the past 1 year are, we've done milestones, we've done weddings, we've done birthday parties, everything related to social events, big, small, all size of events we've done last year. So it's been a roller coaster ride, I would say, since 1 year. So something which I feel it's very special. It's
talk about the kind of events and how passionate you are to create events like that.
So yeah, like even if we are doing a small birthday party, you know, there are dreams which are attached to it. So whenever we do event, I would, you know, get into all the smallest of the details, like how will the cake table be, or how, what kind of rides would kids prefer, or what kind of activities, because, you know, certain themes if you're working on, you would want to plan the activities also accordingly. So we get into all the little details also, and I love the little details about planning an event.
Nice. Thank you so much, Purva, for giving me all your time and energy. Thank you so much.
If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe onto this channel.